Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I know a few of you have been waiting on this video for me to follow this up and link these two individuals together because I did my video on Dr. Noon Amun-Ra and his claims to violate the laws of physics and thermodynamics. And we have someone else in the fitness community who also claims to be able to coach people who have the ability to violate the laws of physics and thermodynamics also. Coincidentally, they both have cult-like followings. They're both crazy as hell. And they both have PhDs. So let's lump these two into the same boat. None other than Dr. Noon Amun-Ra and the evil Dr. Layne Norton. Now, you guys remember when Dr. A.B. Bitton came up with a formula and he showed some math, broke out some charts, and you know you're in trouble when a Jewish doctor starts breaking out mathematical formulas on you, long mathematical formulas to prove you wrong. You know you're in trouble right there. And that's exactly what happened. And it went everywhere because Lyle McDonald shared it and was looking at his math also and said, yep, looks correct. When Layne had made these big claims with his metabolic damage stuff, which he has tried to build his career on further and is trying to get grants to research it. Yeah, there's no hustle involved there. Something we know is biologically impossible that he described. Let's get some grants to research it. Yeah. And he had given this example of a woman at a given body weight, and he had seen multiple examples of it, and that they were doing so many hours of cardio per day while consuming 1,000 calories, and they started gaining weight. And it was due to their metabolic damage. And he had seen it because they were his long-distance clients, but they weren't in a metabolic lab where he could actually measure and see what they were really eating. You know, forgetting the fact that it's been shown that particularly females are very susceptible to metabolic derangement, as it's been called, that when we put them in metabolic labs and put them on starvation calories, they'll gorge themselves and overeat and completely forget and deny that they ate the extra food. That's been studied, by the way, successfully. So he broke down the math and showed that actually, even if this woman had her thyroid surgically removed and had no thyroid hormones at all, so she was functioning at the lowest possible metabolism for a woman of her body weight, and he calculated the actual energy, the heat energy involved in the type of cardio that had been described with the laws of thermodynamics are required to generate the energy to do that, and he concluded with his mathematical formulas that what was being described was medically impossible according to the laws of biology and the laws of thermodynamics, even if this woman had some extreme before seen case of metabolic damage to where her base metabolic rate was the lowest humanly possible that a human could have. Under any circumstances, that this scenario was still impossible for her to not continue to lose weight, that she in fact gaining body fat, and that was a claim that Layne had, that they were gaining body fat and weight while on 1,000 calories a day and doing hours of cardio every day. He completely disproved it and called it quackery, and he completely called Layne out on it as another doctor. And again, backed it with mathematics and basic physics. And of course, Layne wasn't happy about that, but he was disproven because Layne has basically, with those claims, tried to break the laws of thermodynamics, meaning energy has a certain amount of energy value, and energy and matter cannot be created or destroyed. They can only change forms. Basic law of thermodynamics. Most people who've taken a basic high school level physics course are familiar with this. And no, you can't destroy energy. Even an atomic bomb doesn't destroy the energy, it just changes the form of it. It turns physical matter into energy. It doesn't destroy it. They're claiming that these people are able to create energy out of nothing. Not take it into their body from any source and create the energy to give this expenditure and all their metabolic functions without creating it from anything. That's what Layne is basically claiming with this. Physically impossible. Dr. Noon Amun-Ra with his augmented autophage. The dude speaks hilarious. He and Layne should hang out. They would be buddies. He is claiming the same thing. He is claiming that he maintains a body weight in the 160s as a physically active male who lifts weights. Not a bedridden male, not a male who lays in a bed and doesn't move at all, who is completely paralyzed and bedridden and maybe in a coma, but a man who's up walking around doing activity every day, who actually works out and lifts weights and lifts heavy. Guy deadlifts over 600 pounds. He's claiming that on a diet of 1,200 calories a day, that he maintains his body weight and maintains his muscle mass, even though his base metabolic rate should be much higher than 1,200 calories because of the muscle mass that he has. And his physical activity requires energy. So he is claiming, I suppose, with Amun-Ra, the sun god, that he is drawing his energy from the sun or something, that he's drawing calories from it, because the caloric intakes he described are not physically capable of maintaining his body weight. And if you do not have a source of the calories, your body is required by the laws of biology and physics to get that energy from somewhere. In his case, it would have to come from his muscle tissue. That is the only source of energy left in his body when he gets as lean as he is. Therefore, it is biologically impossible, unless he is magically creating energy from somewhere, for this to happen. He would have to lose muscle mass to fuel the energy. He would have to use that energy source. There is stored energy in muscle tissue. Your body will use it up as a last resort. He would be starving to death and be losing muscle mass. He's claiming he doesn't because he's lowered his metabolism enough. So he and Layne are both claiming the same nonsense that's physically impossible. Because the energy would drop so low that even the lowest possible metabolic rate for a starving human, they're claiming that people are able to lower it way, way lower than that and then create extra energy for the movements themselves and their daily expenditures out of nothing, out of thin air. And their followers believe it. And it goes to show you something, that if you've got a PhD in front of your name and you can build a cult-like following, that people will have their heads so far up your ass that they will believe physically impossible stuff according to the laws of science, biology, physics, thermodynamics. They will believe horseshit and follow you when you claim it, even when medical doctors and other people show you that it's physically impossible. Those people will continue to back them. Just like I saw with some of the followers of Dr. Noon Amun-Ra, they do just like Layne's little fangirls do, and they come and back them, even though these guys are making claims that are completely impossible. They're claiming to be able to do magical things. Purely because they have a PhD is in the way that people back them. Well, they have a PhD, so therefore they know what they're talking about. But other people with PhDs can prove them wrong using basic science and just say, look, you're full of shit. You're full of shit. You're making shit up to draw a following. This completely provably false. Not even subject to interpretation. Provable hard data from hard sciences prove these things impossible. So you guys have either rewritten the laws of physics in your brilliance, and neither one of them are that smart. They might pretend to be, but they aren't. Or you're just making shit up and using your PhD to claim that you have some advanced knowledge. And these two fit the bill. And again, with this, their fans seem to have a lot in common with this. And they both believe in this magical metabolic damage and creating calories out of thin air and energy out of thin air or sunlight or photosynthesis or whatever they're claiming. It's just never been documented in a human ever. They should hang out. These two should write a book together. And instead of the $90 that Layne charged for the last one he co-written, since you've got another PhD who can break the laws of physics, you guys should charge like $200 for this ebook on how to create calories out of thin air using the sunlight. And you know what? Since you both have PhDs, you'll have double the PhD knowledge, and your fans have their heads so far up your asses that they'll buy it. They'll believe it. I think you two should hook up. You both have a lot in common. Like peas in a pod. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.